Right.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Too many stuff going on. All right, so in terms of not this one, yeah, this one. Kind of review for the Proctor U, that's on the content. And if you go to tests and reviews, and there's a test, Proctor U test 2, then there's a review for Proctor U test number 2, and here's some details. So we'll have at least 2 long answered. So the question will be exactly same, okay? The first long answer question is conversion of binary number, okay? So it's going to give you binary, just like your assignment question. I'm going to give you a few binary base 10 number, decimal number, could be 100, 200, but between 0 and 255. Give you those numbers, then you're going to convert into binary format. So that's the question number 1 in terms of long answer. The other question, long answer question, is about computer hardware question. Remember those assignment again. You need to research for either laptop or tablet. Then you lay out those specification and discuss why you like one over the other. So I'm going to give you almost same kind of question, but maybe the prompt maybe will be a little different, but eventually it's going to same thing. You need to discuss why this particular computer or particular hardware is better than others, or what exactly they stand for example. So here is the kind of give you some tips. So let's say I give you a question, convert 100 and 200, which is decimal number. Decimal number is base 10 number that we're using every day. And they're asking you need to convert into binary number. I don't know how you're going to do it. There's a couple of ways to do it, but I don't want you to get confused because the way I think I had a video too. The way I show the video is just subtraction. Subtract the numbers. But the other ways that's out there, people use is division method. But in terms of you're going to put it into binary format, the 0 or 1, whatever those order, a little different. Because when you use division method, then you're going to put it those binary format from bottom to top. And if you use a subtraction, you're going to do it top to bottom. So I don't know. I mean, it may be confusing, but as long as you practice a couple of times, I think you should be okay. So to give you some detail, if you want to go with the division method, you just divide by 2. Okay, again, the number is 100. Okay, you're going to convert into binary format. So what you're doing is first you need to divide by 2. Then you have a 50 left, right? Remainder is 0. So that's your binary number. If you have a 0 remainder, then binary number digit is 0 for that digit. Okay, same thing here. So you have 50 divided by 2. I think I'm going to just zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, can you make that a little bigger? It's hard to see. Yep. There we go. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah. So next up, we have 50 left, right? So 50 divided by 2, and you have 25, but remainder is 0 again. So your bit is 0. Same thing, divided by 2, 12, but we have a remainder this time because 25 divided by 2 is just 12.5, right? So we'll say that's remainder is 1 in terms of binary number. So that's how you're going to do it in terms of using division method. But you need to do it until here. You need to divide divide 1 by 2 too, so that you consume all the way to 0, right? Don't stop here. If you stop here, then you're going to lose 1 bit, okay? So you divide 1 by 2 is 0.5, but we'll consider it's a 0, but remainder is 1 because you have a 0.5 left. So that's the idea of using division method. But when you put it into this binary format, notice that 0 is added in the beginning. 0 right there. Why? Because when we started 100 is less than 128. But we need to know about this power of 2. See, power of 2 goes from 2 to the 0 to the 7, right? So 2 to the 7 is 128, but the number we are playing with is 100. So we started from here, right? All the way down. So because we skipped this part, meaning the number is too small, smaller than 128, that's why we're going to put 0 here in the beginning. So that's the first bit, right? Then rest of them, you're going to put reverse. So here we go, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. That's what we have. Little bit confusing if you're doing first time, but again, you're going to put this number 1 or 0 in reverse order here. Then again, 0 is there first. Why? Because again, the 100 is less than 128, which is the largest, number from power of 6. So it's been a while, I guess you did this assignment, so I think you need to practice, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I'm going to have to practice for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But here's the other method that I use it because it's probably more making sense. 100, same thing. But this time we're going to use the subtraction method. Again, same thing. This is the power of, because exponential is 2, then you just go up by each digit, 128, same thing. Because the reason we have 8 of them here, because the binary number always goes by 8 bit at a time. So you have 8 of them, then it's going over 8, then you start in the next line. So that's why they keep always 8 bits. Okay, so that's why it doesn't have 2 to the 8, 2 to the 9, because we'll always start from 2 to the 0 first. Okay. All right, so 100, this time we're going to subtract it, right? So the way we're going to do is number is 100. We're going to subtract the largest number doesn't go over the number you are playing with. So again, the number is 100. If you're using 128, it's all going over. So you cannot subtract it, right, from here. So 128 is largest, but our number is 100. So you need to use 64 to subtract. So that's why we have it here. 100 minus 64, the remainder 36. Then now next number is 36. So what's the largest number without going over 36? That will be 32, right? Which is 2 to the 5th. So that's what we are doing here. 36 minus 32. Then we have 4 remainder. So what's the largest number close to 4? It's 4 itself, right? So you subtract it in 0. So when you have a 0, you are done calculation. Then time to put it into 1 or 0. How? The power of 2 are used in the calculation, which is 2 to the 6. That's 64, 32, and 4. And unused, meaning in this calculation. In this calculation, we didn't use this digit, which is 128. What is it? 128, 32, 8, 2, 1. Those are not used, right? Then it will give you 0. So that's why we have it here. So you're looking at here, So in the calculation, have you used this digit? Then we'll give it 1. In next one, is it used in the calculation? If it is, then we'll give you 1. If it doesn't used or skip in the calculation, we're going to give a 0, for example. So that's what the subtraction method, then it'll give you 1 or 0 depending on whether that particular number has been used in the calculation. So again, a little bit different division method, calculation method, but unless you actually try it, by using actually hand or pencil or whatever, then you should be able to figure it out. Sweet.
Will we be able to have a scratch paper, like for the test?
No, but you can use the calculator.
Okay.
Can use the calculator. Well, one thing you want to
Excel. I know it asked about Excel for the last test.
I think we
as resources.
I think I added it as a, as an application you can use.
Okay, later. That's what I was just thinking, having it laid out in front of you.
One thing you can do is you just write it down this on the screen or whatever the web browser or calculator. So put it this one, then should be able to help you out. I guess I'll just put it this one on the actual sheets, right? On the question prompt, so that you don't have to wandering around. So.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions?
Is there?
Nope. No questions.
No? And the other question I was talking about, the hardware question. So let's say I give you this spec. Let's say this is a laptop or tablet. Doesn't matter. So I give you this spec like this one. Probably I just make up, well, based on actual, spec. So I say I'm going to just make it this number way different, like the price. I say 1,800. Kind of, just ridiculous numbers. So that you can notice quickly, right? And same thing is CPU, just make it very high or low in terms of gigahertz, which is the CPU measurement. High is better. Again, the gigahertz means billions bit per second, for example. Same thing, RAM, I can make it very small, very large so that you can detect what's the problem with it. Hard drive, same thing, SSD, that's the latest hard drive, you can put it into laptop. So make it different number. Resolution, that's the number going across your monitor screen. The first number is horizontal, second number is vertical. So I can give you kind of weird number because this number, like for example, this number is kind of average number you can see in these days on laptop. As long as it's close to like 2,000 or 1,000, that's fine. But if the resolution is too low, for example, 1,000 by 800, 1,000 by 900, that's kind of 10 years old, right? So that's something you need to pick it up. Same thing here. I may give you Windows 10. I have a Windows 10 here, right? Windows 10 is expiring next year, which is getting old, right? Which is not what you want, right? So you have to notice that too. Or even Windows XP. I know some of you are Mac, but a lot of Windows computers out there. So, and here too, graphics cards, so help you to play, online games, 3D games. So I don't require to, understand or discuss kind of detail, but just, typical quick stuff like integrated card, meaning that the card or capability of graphics is embedded into motherboard or CPU. So it's pretty slow because it's, you don't have your own card. It's embedded. Slow and cheap, which is good for company. But if you want real good computer or capable of producing videos and playing games, you need to have your own card, graphics card. That's what we call dedicated card. So if you have a dedicated card, then you're good with playing games or playing videos. Otherwise, things are very slow when it comes to the videos or images. Same thing, weight. Typical weight, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, these days. But if you notice like 10 pounds, impossible, right? Because you're talking about a laptop. So those are the question prompt I'm going to give you some scenario. So you just discuss what's wrong with it or what's good about it so that you can, you can come up with the answer. And same thing here, display is 16 inches. And other thing, you don't have to know kind of technical stuff, non-touch, anti-glare. Anti-glare is pretty typical, but you don't have to know all that. But like a size, you need to discuss. And also LED, that's typical. Just like TV set you have. Most of TV set these days OLED. Okay, that's the most popular one. And if your display or screen TV is LED or OLED, that's fine. But if you're like LCD, probably heard about it. Again, that's the 10, 20 years old technology. That's bad, right? Because you have a really old technology on your laptop and it's not going to work well. So that's another one on display. USB port. Ports are important, right? So that you can connect to other devices. So if you have only one port like here, another one port of type C. Type A is the old, I believe that's the old generation type, typical those square port if you look at it. But if you see the type C, I think that's the kind of rounded if you look at inside. So if you have only one each, that's kind of inconvenient, right? These days you need many ports, as many as possible. I think some laptop comes with 3, 4, 5 ports, right? So that you can hook up all kinds of different devices. But in this computer, we have only 2, one each. That's not really, favorable. HDMI, you don't have to know the whole acronym, but HDMI stands for high definition multimedia stuff. But that's again, you're connecting to other devices like TV or the other display. But if you have it, that's great. But that's kind of standard these days. But if your laptop doesn't have it, it's not good again, So that's what I'm talking about here to discuss the specs and answer whether it is good one or bad one or recommended or not recommended. You got an idea now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's the long answer question and, multiple choices you're going to get. And that's from, again, those old questions plus hopefully, from questions you submitted.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So any question, comments?
Nah, I think I'm ready to roll. Those 2 long answers,
Uh-huh.
those will the way you explain it now, I kind of understand it way better.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. So those are based on the assignments. So hopefully you can go back. Yeah.
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 It helps too, to have a refresher since it's been a minute since we've looked at it.
Right. Yeah. 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 But as long as you just try a couple of times, you should get it for binary numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered it
Alright.
when she started doing it again. I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a video, and also there's a video out there in YouTube too. So in case you're wondering, you know.
Thank
Sweet.
you.
Okay then, guys. That's all I have.
Perfect. Have a good night.
We appreciate you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you next time.
Yep.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks.